Hey, hello there. Welcome to Talking with Tony. Our YouTube series, season 14, is continuing. And we'd like to welcome Talking with Tony correspondent Matt Trucks back with us today. Welcome to the YouTube version of Talking with Tony. We're bigger and we're better. And anybody around the country you want to say hello to, because people will be watching you from all over the country, Matt.
Oh, just friends and family and anybody, I guess, it's played for me over the past quarter century.
Well, that's when you say that quarter century and all that really just because I know it and I know it's true, but it's just so hard to fathom because it's just so hard to believe that it's been already 25 years of coaching for you.
It is. It's when you're in it, it's going slow, but you start looking back at it, it's going pretty quickly. And these years go by quicker. The more you coach, the faster it goes, especially when you have good teams or good kids to coach with. You don't want that time to end. So yeah, that's these years have started to tick by really quickly.
So the kids that I really just loved, the El McCords and the Randy Harvilles and those girls that were there during that time, we're talking about what, 10 years ago now, probably a little more than 10 years ago now.
Oh, longer than that. That would have been 2010 to 2013 in that area.
Yeah, that's insane. Some wonderful kids have obviously come through the volleyball program, and you mentioned basketball, and your coaching goes further back than just Northgate as well.
Right. Yeah. It's like I said, it just started back in 1999 is when everything started. And that was with soccer back in Clayton County, long time ago.
Now you're deep into volleyball right now, and it's not just Northgate High School volleyball, but it's you have to tell us about what's going on, because I will text you and you'll say, "Hey, I'm at a volleyball tournament. Can I call you after 10 p.m.?" This would be like 1 o'clock. Like that. You are working so many hours, Matt, and I know that it's rewarding for you. But you're working really with the younger kids here, ages around like 8 to 14 and all.
Yeah, we have it's 575 volleyball that we run out of Peachtree City. We're a satellite for our main company that's up in Canton or Woodstock area, and then we have one out of Lake Point, one out of Carrollton, and then we just starting to open one up in Powder Springs as well too, to help some kids up there that don't have access to a lot of volleyball. So. But yeah, look, I think it's, you work with young kids, you're going to stay young. I think, sometimes I'm tired when I get home, but, I think the reward is being able to watch them grow. It is sometimes a struggle, but that's part of it. That's part of, the fun part of this is to see them struggle through not being able to do at the beginning. And then all of a sudden at the end, they're able to hit that shot, make that serve. You watch, we run a little mini club with some of these younger kids. And they come in, they're 10 years old, 9 years old, and they're struggling to serve, get a ball over from 10 feet. And by the time that they're done with you for the year, now all of a sudden they're 20 feet and they're serving the ball over and overhand, not underhand. And to see the smile on their face. And then, you also see their parents and see the growth in their kid. And that's the fun part.
And the ones who are real serious about it and they want to stick with it and they want to play in high school, this only benefits them. And it only benefits these local high school teams as well, because they're getting exposure to the sport earlier. They're getting serious training from you guys. And not everybody's going to want to do that. Some people decide to go in the direction of other sports and other things, and that's totally fine. Maybe they want to go work and get a job, save some money. But for the ones who are loving volleyball, this is great experience for them, great opportunity.
That's right. And it's the same thing. It's the same model as what you see in travel baseball, travel basketball. It's just giving that opportunity to the girls. And it's been growing. It's been going for a long time as far as the club volleyball scene. And it's just starting to really push hard. You see a big push in high school now, middle school. I know our local middle schools are busting at the seams with kids that are trying out. And that's a good thing. That means that the girls are playing. They want to play. It's a wonderful sport, a great way to work with other people and learn how to work in groups and be active, something for the girls to do. But yeah, when you get to that serious point, you get the higher level club teams. It's just amazing what some of these young kids can do.
Cobb County is a powerhouse for volleyball in the state of Georgia, but south of Atlanta, who used to never win state championships, we've seen some success. We've seen, the Stars Mills and the Sandy Creeks have won state. You've been Final Fours. Like it's. I got a feeling what you're doing there in Peachtree City, and I always felt like Peachtree City was a little ahead of Coweta County in volleyball. But what you're doing there in Peachtree City is going to make some people in north of Atlanta very angry, very frustrated, because you're making this area, your area, so much more competitive.
Well, I think it's been there. You mentioned two of the schools. McIntosh is in the area. Whitewater's got a state championship. McIntosh just won this past year, or this season. So it's deep. East Coweta here in Coweta and Noonan programs over the last few years have been really good as well too. So you're seeing, I think, the depth of play is there. We may not have the quantity of depth that the north side does, but in little spots down here on the south side, there is some very strong volleyball.
I saw some incredible volleyball in like 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, because Noonan and East Coweta, which was our central, what I was covering, were in the same region as, say, McIntosh and Stars Mill. And, these schools could, just flat out play. And there were some champions there. And I think that opened up a lot of eyes. But the sport's just grown so much. We were talking earlier today, and I was just shocked by how many more people are playing volleyball, how many more girls are playing volleyball now than basketball.
Yeah, I think it's something that's a little bit more accessible nowadays. It does, like, when you get in your higher level club, it does cost money, but there are local programs that are starting to pop up. I know there's one in Coweta County at the rec center. We offer beginner classes as well too, and I think that's where you grow. Like I said, the sport is extremely fun. You can get out there. There's, again, the girls cheer a lot. There's a lot of energy when they play. And I think that's what's kind of bringing them to it. One, it's very fun. You get to hit the ball, pass the ball, serve the ball. They get to do everything they want to do, and then go out there and have fun in a team aspect. And I think that's what's really growing the sport compared to where basketball is. Everybody, I still love basketball. I still watch it. I can't wait for March to come in. You know how I feel about that. And that's men's and women's with college. But I think that's where volleyball is starting to get, is it's becoming a little bit more accessible. And I think that's where the growth is starting to come from.
Okay, well, that makes some sense to me. On that point, I don't want to get too far into it right now because March Madness is still a ways away, and the baseball were just recently reported to spring training, and I want you to pick all of the division winners with me. But are there a couple of teams that you have your eyes on the men's side for college basketball to win the national championship? Because, South Carolina's women just look like the team to beat. I love Caitlin Clark and what she does, for Iowa, and the point production and all is tremendous. And I realized they had a huge win in the Final Four last year, but I think it's South Carolina rebounds and wins that national championship again this year. So give me a couple of teams, like if you were out in Vegas right now and you want to throw some money down, give me a couple of teams that you really like to win the national championship in men's basketball.
I think you got to look at UConn. I think they're right now, just the style that they play, just up and down the court, the hard defense. And I say this with all reserve, that the Big East always breaks my heart. But I really like UConn, and I like Marquette as well too. Marquette's a physical team, and I think when you get deep into that tournament, you got to be able to play defense, and you got to be able to play in the half court. And I think they're able to. I know they got blown out the other day, but I think they're able to play at that level and go in and sustain that. And Houston is another one. I think they do a great job down there. Same thing, physical basketball. If the championship was being played in Auburn, I know you want to hear this, I would probably tell you to take the Tigers, just because that's one difficult place to play in. But I think UConn obviously is the easy one to say, but I like Marquette and Houston just because of their physicality.
I know Purdue was ranked number 2 last week, but to me they just don't shoot the ball well enough. They don't shoot well enough from the foul line. Houston, I was all about last year because of the defense, but what happened to them? They fell too far behind Miami. and they couldn't come back. And boy, has Miami been a disappointment this season. I got my eyes on Arizona. Wildcats, we're Pac 10, 12, whatever they are, disbanding right into the Pac 2, into the Mountain West, but I think it's strange. But that's the team that I have my eyes on. I've seen them win some impressive road games, and that's what I kind of look for this time of the year. I look for teams that are able to win on the road, and that usually, for me, I remember that, and that translates into going deep into NCAA March Madness time.
Right. Arizona's good. They're a good team. They're a fun team to watch because they can definitely fill the basket out. And it's just the same thing. The Pac-12 breaks your heart every year, every once in a while as well too. It used to be the Pac-12.
Let's discuss MLB and just the division winners. We don't have to worry about the World Series right now, though I'm man enough to admit the National League, the Braves and the Dodgers look just unreal right now. So let's start. There's a couple of gimmies out there, Matt, with the Braves and the Dodgers. You don't see anybody interfering in the division to keep the Braves or the Dodgers from winning those divisions, do you?
Boy, that's tough. You look at the Dodgers and it's like the Yankees of the National League with the way they've put players on their team. And boy, if they're healthy, that's a tough lineup and a tough staff to have to go through. I still like the Braves. I think that the way the Braves they have their stars, but I think they have that team mentality. I think it's there, and I think that really pushes them over the top. Good locker room there, and they can really, they've got the talent, I think, especially if they get everybody healthy. The rest of the National League, I'm not so sure there's anybody else other than those two, just because of what the Dodgers have been able to pick up. It's almost embarrassing what they've been able to put on that team.
I think if the Padres would have brought back the Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell, they could have been in there for a while with the Dodgers this year. But they're not going to do that. He's still, as we film this, out there available. So I don't see the Padres winning that National League West. The National League Central is the one division in the National League where I'm not sure who wins. The Cardinals are just a slight favorite over the Cubs. And then the Reds are the third choice. And then the Brewers, who've been the team coming in the last 2 years that have been favored because of some of the players they've let get away, mainly Corbin Burns, they're the fourth choice. And then the Pirates. I really believe it's one of those divisions where anybody, even Pittsburgh, if they actually made some moves at the trade deadline instead of dealing some people, may even have an opportunity. I would give a slight advantage right now to the Cubs, and I'm having a hard time even, saying that because it's the Cubs. But that's how I feel. How about your thoughts in the Central? St. Louis, Chicago, or somebody else?
Well, I think if you could have a four-sided coin, you'd be fine. Just throw it up there. I thought the Cubs were going to be able to do something last year, and just with them. Me personally, I would love to see Pittsburgh get in the mix. I think just from the small market aspect, I love Baltimore. And just have that kind of the old school teams, like I said, central teams, kind of firepower across the lineup and definitely in the bullpen to take care of anybody like the Dodgers or the Braves.
Okay, now Matt, before I let you go tonight, I got to tell you something over your shoulder there reminds me a whole lot of Seinfeld, the television show, which I just absolutely love. Tell me the story behind these beautiful pictures behind you.
These were actually my uncle's. He was a Seinfeld fan as well too. He passed a long time ago, but I always liked him. The one over here on this side is a Memphis Chicks poster, which again, minor league baseball. I think that he had his living room during the early season, and I thought I'd put these up behind me. Just this was for you. I know you're a fan. I figured you would get a good kick out of that.
I am certainly a fan. Matt, I want to thank you for taking time to join us tonight. And if you don't mind, I'd like for you really to come back throughout the baseball season so we can talk about baseball and who's hot and who's not, and what teams need to do what before the trade deadline, and look all the way forward to the postseason.
I look forward to it.
All right. For Matt Trucks, who is in Newnan, Georgia, I'm Tony Jones. For our producer, Jake Barton, also in Newnan, we'll see you next time on Talking with Tony.